Lady Somersby entered the garden for her customary stroll. As she looked up at the blank faces of the mullioned windows, she turned over the events of the previous day. Why had the maid run out of the library? A placid girl, she was not prone to fits of emotion. But something had induced in her a trembling so great, it required the best part of a bottle of brandy to soothe. Lady Somersby nursed a sense of unease, for she had seen the twitch of the curtain at the open French window, the mark of a footfall on the untrammelled lawn, and then, for a brief yet unmistakable moment, the figure of a man watching her. She sensed him there before she saw him again. Concealed by the lengthening shadows, his gaze was fixed on the bright glow of the window. His posture betrayed no haste, no sense of danger. He'd come for her. Of that she was certain. Time's up. We'll carry on next week.
Excuse me?
Yes?
I'd like to join the library. Is this where I sign on?
Yes, of course. Here's a form. If you can fill in your details, and I'll need to see a proof of address.
Oh, I've got an electricity bill.
Perfect. Are you new to the area?
Yeah. I've just got a new job. Nursery assistant.
Lovely.
Thought I could bring some books in for the children. They've got loads there already, but they get through them so fast.
Well, we have a very good children's section. Board books for babies right up to stories for older readers. We've also got a wide selection of talking books.
And how many can I take out?
What's this?
Ah, yes, I wanted your opinion.
Pure cashmere. We are pushing.
No peeking.
Come on, I do love a fashion show.
Hate to miss it, old chap. I'm out on house calls.
Later, when I have your undivided attention.
Go to surgery.
Karen, listen, I've just had the dates through for your healthcare assistant course.
Already?
Yeah. Anyway, I've emailed them to you, but if that's no good for you, I can probably arrange something later on in the year.
No, I'm sure that's fine.
Okay, well, let me know, and then I can arrange temp cover, all right?
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Oh, I just got my course dates through. It says there's a light lunch included. I wonder what that means. I hope it's not carrot sticks and hummus.
Karen, it's not just about the food.
Well, speak for yourself. I never go on courses. Fancy me being a member of the clinical staff.
Yeah.
Going to mean a lot of changes. I'll need my own storage space for medical supplies.
You what?
Well, I know you lot and your sticky fingers.
Miss Napier?
Can you wait a moment? I need my assistant to man the desk.
Yeah, sure.
Take a seat. Choose something from the shelves.
I'm all right, thanks.
Oh, we've a Miss Marple just in.
What is it exactly you wanted to talk about?
Theft. From the library. Oh, you wouldn't believe how many books disappear.
You told the control room that it was urgent.
Well, so it is, if you're a member of the public and you've been waiting months for a new release.
I'm sure that it can be very upsetting for people.
Oh, Mrs. Hegarty, there you are. Could you look after the desk for a moment? Thank you. Sergeant, come through.
Do you know who's responsible? Have you caught anybody in the act?
Don't worry about that now.
Sorry?
I had to say something. Walls have ears. Someone's watching me. He was out there earlier, staring at me through the window. A man wearing a hat and a long dark coat.
And is that why you called the police?
I've seen him 3 times today. He was parked outside my house when I left for work, and now twice standing there.
Do you know him?
No.
Have you spoken to him?
Well, that's not advisable, surely.
Is it possible that you've got the wrong end of the stick?
What other end is there?
I'll make some inquiries.
I'm working from home for the rest of the day. He's bound to follow.
What's your address?
It's only round the corner. You could tail me. But make sure you keep out of sight.
Right.
Magic spell. Magic thoughts. Greasy finger up and down my spine. And sing.
7244 to control. I'm still with Miss Napier. I'm just walking her home.
What's the situation, Sarge?
Well, it's probably nothing, but she reckons she's got some bloke watching her.
Peeping Tom.
Well, who knows?
Keep it to yourself, they'll all want one.
Yeah. I better play along, though. She'll only call back later.
I knew he would be there with a steady conviction that grew with each step. His profile was burnt into my mind. The angle of the hat, the drape of his coat hanging from bird-like shoulders. But the purpose of his visit I could not fathom, unless he had divined a use for me as his literary custodian that would soon be revealed. Hello?
Yes, hello, it's Sergeant Hollins here. Any sign of him?
Well, I don't know, I'm not there yet.
Can you see the car?
Hang on, I think that's it. Dorian Gray, the folio edition,
What?
with the erratum on page 59.
Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
59, it's very important. It's how you'll know you've got the right one.
59. That's the registration plate, yeah?
Bingo. And the title should be on the left.
Right, it's that grey car on the left, yeah? I can just say that. I think you better go and wait inside for me. OK, thanks.
Of course we don't have to track you around the surgery now. There's no problem. I'm coming to cheer you.
I sat in a fog of late nights and whiskey and waited for the dame to come out. I knew her routine better than she did now. The single pint of milk, the half loaf of rye, the comfortable thud of sensible shoes on tarmac as she set out on her journey to work.
Everything OK, sir?
Sure.
You live around here?
Why, you wanting directions?
Don't be smart with me. I want to know why you're parked here.
I'm a private dick.
You're a private detective.
On a surveillance operation. Should have it wrapped up in a couple of days.
And who are you watching?
It's classified.
Well, if it's who I think it is, you're doing a very bad job. Were you outside the library today, looking through the window? Did you follow Miss Napier home?
It's a public place.
Yes, it is, but intimidation and threatening behaviour is against the law.
I wasn't threatening.
What's your name? Come on, if you want to keep your licence.
Blakey. Timothy.
Firm.
I'm on my own.
What's Miss Napier supposed to have done then?
That's between me and my client.
Well, she's reported you now, so that's not strictly true.
My client's a relative. It's a purely personal operation. It's got nothing to do with the police at all.
What do you think?
That is gorgeous.
I thought so.
You do know that's ladies' wear, right?
Oh, it's not for me, it's for Cherry.
Cherry?
Thank you for co-hosting my little soiree. Do you think she'll like it?
Oh, yeah, she'll like it. Of course she will. It's just it might be a bit too extravagant. I mean, that must have cost what?
Well, it doesn't matter what it cost.
And it's just that it might embarrass her, Heston.
Well, I don't see why. It's not pink, inflatable, doesn't play a lewd song.
That's not what I meant.
I chose it deliberately because it's understated and restrained.
Just my opinion.
Noted. Thank you. Sure, Cherry will receive it with a bit more grace.
The policeman was so solid, so sensible, that the man seemed almost spectral beside him. I longed to know what they were saying, but could not draw nearer without disclosing myself.
Ah, lovely.
Milk and sugar?
Yes, please. Just one. So, you live here on your own?
Yes.
No relatives nearby?
Is this linked to the case?
Just general inquiries.
I've got no relatives at all. I was an only child.
Oh, I see.
I worked in London in my 20s doing secretarial work. Then I trained as a librarian and came to Leatherbridge. I've never called the police before. I've never had a reason. I'm not the sort of person that things happen to. So, did you find out why he's watching me?
Well, it's not quite as simple as that.
He didn't deny it.
No, he didn't. What he's actually doing is he's checking out the locality. He's trying to build up a picture.
Oh.
It should only take him a couple of days.
So, he works for a market research company, something like that?
Yep, something like that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I've wasted your time. I read so many books, that's the trouble. I should know that real life doesn't match up.
Hey, Julia says that I can have my own clinics. And I was thinking of something around first-time mums, problems, worries, that sort of thing. What do you reckon?
We'll see how you get on with it first. It's still early days.
Yeah, but for a lot of patients, I am going to be the first point of contact, the face of the NHS. I mean, it's really important. If I can get the preventative stuff done, they might not need to see a doctor at all.
Karen, you're only taking blood. The way you're going on, you think you were Louis Pasteur.
I left the house and set out for work, still feeling out of sorts from my own foolishness and hoping that a sensible few hours with the Dewey Decimal System would dispel any more fantastical illusions. But I barely put one foot on the path when I saw the burnished leather sheen of a plump wallet on the ground. Sergeant Hollins, please. Yes, it's Miss Napier again. You can tell him that something rather odd has happened.
Mr. Blakey?
Yes.
I've got some lost property here that might belong to you.
How so?
Well, you tell me. Otherwise, I could always donate it to the Police Benevolent Fund.
Still 500 there?
I knew it. I thought I told you to back off.
Well, I had to speed things up with a moral dilemma. Will she take the cash or give it back in?
I'm fed up with your games. You give that cash back to your client and tell them that the case is closed.
It's all right, it's all right. It's all right, Susie. I can take care of this. Thank you.
So, no carpet covered in fag burns. No dog-eared files. What's this? You're trying to crack the Da Vinci Code?
I don't know what you mean.
If you're a private dick, I'm in the wrong job.
Well, maybe I'm not. Full-time.
Oh, so what is it? More of a hobby?
Yeah. No.
You spy on old ladies for fun, you know. We have a word for that.
No, look.
Who's your client? OK, we'll take it down the station.
No. No. It's me. I'm Brenda's son.
You what?
Adopted. She gave me away as a baby.
And how long have you known that?
Last year. About a year. When my adopted mother died.
Right, I see.
Well, I had to check Brenda out. I mean, you can appreciate that, surely. It's what I do. Statistics. I make predictions about future events based on mathematical equations that we can draw from the past.
Brenda's not a set of numbers.
Well, the principle still stands. She abandoned me. She was unmarried. She could be destitute or drug addicted or supporting a family of freeloading layabouts.
Yeah, she could, but she's not. She's a librarian and has been for 30 years. How long have you been studying Miss Napier?
6 months.
So you must have a pretty good idea of her character by now.
Well, I know the facts, but that doesn't tell you about a person.
What else do you need to know? You know, you can put in as many safeguards as you want, but until you actually stop scrutinising her and talk to her...
No, I can't. It's too soon. I need more information.
You're just putting it off.
Miss Napier?
Yes.
Timothy Blakey.
I keep nothing here. Whatever you're after, it won't do you any good.
I'm not after anything.
Then what do you want? And what are those? Spit it out.
December 14th, 1972. Marchwood, Hampshire. You had a baby. I have no memory of it, obviously. My new parents, the Blakeys, they took me when I was 4 days old. She died last year. My mother. Adoptive mother. I couldn't have done this if she was still alive. Since then, I don't know, I've just had this curiosity to see. It's funny, you being a librarian. I like reading a lot. Didn't you think I'd come and see you one day?
It's soft, like a kitten.
Well, open your eyes. It's not alive, it's cashmere.
Oh. £250.
Oh, that shouldn't be the idiot shop girl.
I thought it was a cuddly toy. That would have been all right. I'm sorry, but thank you. Please take it back.
Well, you haven't even tried it on.
Mrs. Napier? Mrs. Napier, I didn't mean to frighten you. Can we talk at least? Mrs. Napier?
Finally, did you get my message?
No.
The healthcare thing, course dates have come through.
Oh, good.
Is that it? Is that the best you can do?
What do you want me to say?
Well, it wouldn't hurt to show a bit of interest. I've listened to you droning on about your courses for years.
Hey?
I know I'm not developing a cure for cancer, but for me it's a big deal.
44. Can you go to 39 Marston Avenue?
Is that Mrs. Napier again?
It's Mr. Blakey this time. He said he wanted you. His mother's locked in the house.
Karen, I'm going to have to go. Is she all right?
She's just answering the door as far as I can make out. Sounds like a domestic. I can send someone else if you want.
No, it's okay. I'm on my way.
She's inside. She won't come out.
Right, what happened?
I did what you said. I met her face to face, told her everything. I even bought her flowers.
How'd she take it?
Well, she didn't say anything. She just shut the door in my face.
She's probably shocked.
We shouldn't leave her in there on her own.
Okay, wait here.
It's Sergeant Hollins.
You okay?
Did he call you?
To be honest, Mr. Blakey told me who he was before, and I'm sorry, but I didn't know whether to say something or not.
I'm so stupid. Wishing myself in some great adventure.
Will you see him?
I know how it's supposed to go. The foundling returns, we reconcile, the past is forgiven.
Sounds good to me.
He's not my son.
Oh.
I worked for his mother. She was from a good family. I kept all her affairs in order while she went to parties and tried to get a husband. That makes her sound silly and shallow, and she wasn't. She would have kept the baby. But her father was ill. It would have destroyed him. So we went away. We got a cottage in Hampshire, and when he was born, I said he was mine. I know it was wrong, that I was lying, but I never thought he'd try and find me.
Don't you think you should tell him?
You didn't see his face on the doorstep. The hope, the recognition, the future for us he had mapped out.
If you don't tell him the truth, he'll never know why you won't see him. And isn't that worse?
You should get off, Sergeant. Thank you for everything. And you're right. I must talk to him.
I am not taking it back. I bought it to say thank you for being such a perfect hostess.
Heston, it's really kind.
I don't want to embarrass you. I saw it. I thought it was right. It says something about you.
What do you mean?
Well, it's elegant. It's feminine. It's a timeless classic that defies the fickle tides of fashion. It's not cheap, ostentatious, or aiming to please.
I think that's a compliment.
Try it on.
Is this what well-dressed doctors' wives wear while mixing their husbands' martinis?
Who cares? You can wear it when you're putting out the bins. In fact, I insist that you do.
That's lovely.
Okay. Now, promise me you won't change for anyone else again.
Promise me you won't ask me to?
Mm-hmm. Lovely. There we go.
Mr. Blakey.
Tim.
I'm not your mother.
What?
I'm sorry.
But you're Brenda Napier. I checked. I went to Somerset House. I checked the electoral rolls. There's no one else it could be.
It's me on your birth certificate. But you weren't my baby. I said you were to help a friend.
I don't understand.
Your mother wasn't married. Well, it was different back then. I was employed by her father as a kind of companion. I would have done anything she asked. We stayed in contact for years until she went to the Far East. She never did marry. She died in a motorcycle accident.
So all this time, the plans, the searches...
I had no idea.
6 months I've spent. I thought I was going to share my life with you.
I'm sorry.
Lunches, concerts, weekends away. I even found a hotel in Marchwood. I thought you could show me where I was born. I've been so thorough, and all this time you've been leading me on.
If I could be your mother, I would. I was with her at the birth. I remember putting you into her arms. We couldn't believe how perfect you were. All that night, she spent just looking at you, drinking in every detail. She loved you, even if it was just for a day.
I see.
I could show you the house, if you wanted.
You don't have to feel responsible.
I would love to see Marchwood again.
Mill Health Centre, how can I help you? Hello? Hello? Hello, do you want to make an appointment? Hello, is there anyone there?
Are you sure that you are a real doctor?
Sometimes I wish I wasn't.
I'm a rubbish friend. I'm a rubbish daughter. It's for work. I mean, isn't this it?
All that talk about being frozen. My sperm really don't like it.
Charlie Bradfield's got no power there. He hasn't even got a position. The guy's just a locum.